In this week's project, I'm going to show you how we're going to turn scrap wood into gold. Starting off this week's project, we are going to build a really cool floating TV unit using scrap wood. The scrap wood I am going to use is from a project I'm going to show you in the following scenes to come. But before we're going to start our project, we're gonna have to remove my existing TV unit I've got in my house. Now, this unit you see here is a unit I built around about 7 years ago. It's something my fiance got off Pinterest. We absolutely loved it 7 years ago. But in today's time and age, we wanted to go for something more modern and rustic. But before we're going to start our unit, we have to remove my existing unit. So we're going to start off by removing the slats, removing the beams that's going down, and then obviously off camera I was going to close all the holes in the wall, sand it down, and paint my whole wall again. Starting off at my small woodworking shop, these are the offcuts I'm going to use for my project. It's oak, and we are busy building a massive TV unit for a client, as you can see here. There will obviously be another YouTube video for this project to come with some plans, so we are really excited for that. So if you guys don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification button so you're not gonna miss that video. So these offcut pieces are coming from that TV unit you just saw, and as you can see, it's not a lot of offcuts, but with the plan I've got in mind, we're going to make this work. And the specific wood we're going with, like I mentioned, is oak. And now we are just busy sorting out my pieces. So the shorter pieces are going with the shorter pieces, the medium pieces are going with the medium pieces, and the longer pieces are going with the longer pieces. And as you can see, some of the pieces already got some color on, and now we're just going to move on to my table saw. And some of the slats I ended up cutting in half, and some of the other slats I ended up cutting into 3 pieces. And the whole idea of the TV unit is to have different various sizes and thickness, and there shouldn't really be any pattern. It just needs to be rustic, and we're just going with the flow on this project. So the nice thing about the Festool table saw, and the one machine I am absolutely afraid of, is a table saw. Because you read so many things and see so many stories on social media about people losing their fingers. And the nice thing about the Festool table saw is it's got the saw stop technology. So once skin or fingers or any of your body parts get in contact with the blade, within a millisecond that blade shoots down. So I am pretty confident when it comes to working with my table saw now. I absolutely love this machine. And moving to the next part of our project, I am busy doing some measurements where we have to cut a hole in the center of my unit, because my TV bracket, I don't want my TV bracket to hang on the wall unit itself. I want my TV bracket to be fastened to the brick wall itself, so there's not too much strain and too much weight on the TV unit itself. And these MDF slats you see me gluing up here is on the back of the unit, because I want the back of my unit to have a small frame, so there's not too big of a gap between the wall and my TV unit. So this is just to make sure we have a better, smooth look. And you guys do want to stay put to see the final product, and then you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So in the center of my TV unit, I also do want to put a small frame, and you're gonna see why we do this. And just also keep in mind that this side I am busy with working on now is the back side of my TV unit. That's quite critical. This is not the front side, if you guys were wondering. So one of the other videos I posted also where we built a massive floating unit, one of the most received questions we got is how did I fasten this unit to the wall? And the answer to that question is quite easy. It's called a French cleat system. Now a French cleat system is basically, as you can see, I'm busy cutting a 45-degree angle on this piece of wood, and the one piece of timber we're going to fasten to the TV unit, and the other piece we're going to fasten to the wall, and then they basically just slide into each other. It's a really nice and easy, simple system to use, and it's called a French cleat system. Now I'm just busy doing my measurements to fasten my French cleat to the back of my TV unit. So by the end of this project, with the MDF and all the slats I'm going to apply to the MDF sheet, this panel is going to be quite heavy. So I'm just doing a double French cleat system to make sure this unit will not fall once I'm going to hang it to the wall. Now just flipping the unit over so the front side is facing up, getting my FES router out. We're going to router the hole where we're going to fasten our TV unit, and I'm just using a flush trim bit. Basically the bearing of the router is at the bottom, and the previous scene I showed where we done a small little frame in the center of the unit, I'm just basically using that as a guide for my router bit, and you will definitely have a perfect square once you're going to use that as your guide. Now moving on to fastening the slats on the front face of my TV unit, and as I mentioned before, there's not really any pattern. The only pattern I followed is not putting the same thickness of slats next to each other. So we have different various of thickness slats that's sitting next to each other, and this is what makes the project nice, is just going with the flow. And you will see the end product came out really nice. And just to make sure that my slats is really fastened to my MDF sheet, I am applying a little bit of wood glue to each and every slat and fastening them with my nail gun. So I had this piece of offcut oak also lying around in my shop, and we decided that we're only going to add one floating shelf to our unit. And now I'm just busy measuring the center of this unit so I can have this offcut piece of wood sitting perfectly in the center of our TV unit. And I also do want to mention that this basically cost us nothing to build this TV unit. All of this is offcut wood. The only thing we bought was the MDF sheet for this project. Now just turning the unit back over again so the back side is facing up. We are going to cut our pieces of oak off that's sticking over the unit. And I'm using my flush trim bit again for this, and if I could go back I will definitely not use this because we did end up with some pieces of wood breaking off, and I will not do this again. I actually ended up off camera getting my track saw out to cut the rest of the pieces of oak that was sticking over my floating TV unit. So for this project we're going to use Rubio Monocoat Preaging color number 5, and as you can see this color is absolutely beautiful if you want to go for a rustic look. Now the Preaging range is basically making new wood look aged. Then afterwards we just use the Rubio Pure to seal our wood, and that's a quite critical step. You do have to wait around about 24 hours for the pre-aging and then apply your Rubio Pure linseed oil on top of that. Now as you can see I'm just busy drilling a hole in the center of my unit. My floating shelf is just going to be under that hole because we are going to put a sound bar on the floating unit. Now that hole is just for the power cable to run through up to the TV side, so you don't have any loose cables. You don't really see any cables on your TV unit. The tip I want to give you is, as I mentioned, the hole you see there is where my cable is going through from the front side to the back side, and this French cleat system is going to be in the way, so I have to remove a small piece of wooden block for my cable to run through. So this is going to be all for today, guys. Leave me a comment down below. What do you guys think of this project? What would you have done differently? And before you head out, make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content we're posting. See you guys next week with another super cool video. Cheers.